this has been an absolute roller coaster ride. The two weapons that we thought were going to be the worst, the two weapons that probably get, dare I say, the least amount of playtime of any DMR and AR for that matter, which is the SKS and the SLR. These not only deal a shed load of damage, but the recoil seems to have been decreased. All right, less recoil. You get the high damage, but the rate of fire, it looks like it's increased from what they initially announced. So, like I said, in beta, you can never be too sure. All right, it's never going to be whatever they drop in beta, it's gonna be cut and paste into global. That's not always the case. They do a lot of fine tuning, a lot of stuff behind closed doors. So first, we'll watch this all the way through. We're gonna showcase all 4 weapons. Then you're gonna let me know down in the comment section what you think of these 4 weapons. Because if you're watching this video from the day I release it, you probably got the update or you're about to get the update, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm gonna turn this up so you guys can hear it very well. We're gonna watch these 4 weapons in action. Let's go. All right, so now that we saw the weapons, we're gonna do a quick little review for you guys, breaking down each one, looking at the damage. We don't have time to kill or anything like that, but there's a lot to be said about these 4 weapons. So let's go ahead and start off. This is the mini. Actually, let me lower that. Let's start over. So the mini, like I said, compared to beta, it's about half. All right, it's still very quick. Most of you guys watching this probably, if I could guess, don't tap this fast. The mini is still going to be very effective. It was already effective. Now that they've added the full auto attachment for the mini, you're gonna see a lot of people running this weapon, and the recoil, it's basically non-existent, but the rate of fire is definitely slower than what it was in beta. So let's take a look. So 112 to the head, 53 to the body, but the rate of fire is definitely slower from what we previously saw. Absolutely no recoil. A lot of people are gonna be running the mini. The SKS now, this gun I've been trashing not only forever. All right, I want to say they've messed with the SKS probably 3 or 4 different times over the span of the last, say, 3 or 4 years. They really, really, really want people to use the SKS, and I think people are finally going to. All right, the recoil has dropped down. All right, they've reduced the horizontal and vertical recoil of the SKS. Not to mention the DPS of this weapon, but compared to beta, the rate of fire is much faster now. So the SKS, I truly believe, is going to get a lot of love in the 2.9 update. So let's take a look at the SKS, okay? Look, recoil, very manageable. Look, 125 to the head. All right, let's watch that one more time. So this was the weapon that we didn't think was, it was very lackluster. Now, that's not the case, man. It puts out a ton of damage, man. Recoil is not, it's very manageable. And it's quick. It's much faster, much faster. Look at this. Much faster from where it was. The MK12, though, they did mess with. The MK12, the recoil looks like they've upped the recoil a little bit. It's a little bit harder to control. But remember, this weapon is already broken out of the box anyway, because you don't know where the shots are coming from. I'm still very excited about it. I think you can definitely control the recoil as long as you have your sensitivities dialed in. It's full auto. It does the least amount of damage of all 4 ARs, or all 4 DMRs, but it has the added bonus of not knowing where the shots are coming from. It's very, very, very broken if used correctly. So let's take a look at the MK12 Once more, here's the switch. And still very fast. Still very fast, very effective. I'm very, very excited about that one. This one, let's take a look at the SLR. This is probably the least played gun ever. Not only is it hard to find, but even when you find it, you pretty much just step right over it. You know, not many people are picking up the SLR ever. Until this update, I think the SLR and the SKS, it's going to be their time to shine. So let's take a look at it. Still very quick. Look at that. Oh, no, the SLR does the most damage of all these weapons. It still holds 20 rounds in extended mag. Recoil's not horrible. But it really, really packs a punch, dude. 133. That is ridiculous. The one that packs the biggest punch is the SLR. This thing is going to shred. Even level 3 gear, it is going to shred. So where does this leave us, you guys? Where does this leave us when we're talking about ARs? All right. And this is I want to end the video on this point here. Where does this leave us with ARs? I can't imagine a situation where, because remember, ARs in the game as it is right now, pre 2.9 update, ARs have all been about mid and long range sprays. That's where they're going to be the most effective. Okay, a lot of people are their loadouts are going to be SMG and fill in the blank AR. Okay, and that's what's been meta. The spray meta, mid and long range. Now that every DMR is going to be full auto, I'm trying to envision in my mind when someone, other than basically skins or comfortability, once you get past that, when you're talking about actual game performance, DMRs not only have less recoil than any of the ARs, but they do a lot more damage. And now that these are also full auto, where does a traditional AR like an M4 or a Scar L, where is that going to fit into the meta now? So it's still going to be the spray meta, but now the spray is going to be more effective because now you're going to have weapons that have less recoil and do more damage. So they haven't replaced the spray with skill. All they've done is basically make ARs kind of obsolete. I mean, just imagine if you have an SLR or say an SKS and say something like a UMP or an AK, like a loadout, AK SLR or AK SKS or M7 and SKS. Or if you still are sticking to your SMGs, a UMP and a mini. The DPS in that loadout will be absolutely devastating because you'll have CQC up to say 50 meters handled with the UMP or Uzi or any SMG or 7.62. I'm talking about 7.62 because those do more damage than your 5.56 ARs. But then you're gonna have the full auto DMRs for your mid and your long. We're talking like 80 meters to say 200 meters, 250. I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen in 2.9. I don't think in recent memory, I can't think of an update that I'm more excited about, you guys. So let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Update 2.9 is here. It is live. And I'm very, very excited for this one.